Back on Travis Fillhart's with us today. He's a deputy Allen County, I got to get this right, deputy director of the Allen County EMA and Homeland Security. We're talking a little bit about spring storms. That's nice to think about because we don't want to think storms, but we want to think spring. But I was asking before we came on, what's some of the biggest dangers we have in our area for storms?
Yeah, absolutely, Jeff. With the, like they told us with the weather changing here, it's important to talk about severe weather coming. Floods impact Allen County heavily every single year. We inevitably have roads underwater, housing developments that have rising water levels, houses that have to have people rescued from them. Flooding is a thing that impacts all of our county as a whole, not just one specific area. So I would say flooding is our highest danger. Another thing that we, extremely keep an eye on is our tornadoes in the area. Making sure that people know the difference between a watch and a warning. So if you hear watch come across any of your news outlets, watch means kind of just look for the conditions. They are favorable for tornado activity in the area, and if you do see a warning, please seek shelter. A warning means that there is one on the ground or one has been spotted in the area, and it's a much more serious effect.
When we talk about flooding, it's funny because I know we remind people all the time, don't drive through standing water if you get, because it doesn't take much before your car becomes a boat, right? Yeah,
absolutely. So some of the studies have showed that 6 inches of moving water is enough to lift a car and move it off of a roadway.
Wow.
So 6 inches isn't very much in the grand scheme of things. So we like to tell people, turn around, don't drown. That's a big push that we've had nationwide for the past few years. If there's any standing water or running water on a roadway, please turn around and don't drive through it.
You guys have a very extensive alert system now, and more people keep signing up for that, right?
Absolutely. In Allen County, we have Alert Allen County. So the EMA office puts out any type of flood warnings, flood watches, tornado warnings, watches, even thunderstorm warnings, watches. Completely a free service. It's on our website, allen-ema.com. You can opt in or out of any of the alerts that you want. We even have traffic alerts on there. So any type of alert that impacts Allen County, you can get through that free notification.
I think all the way back to when we were in school and we would do tornado drills and they'd have you down in the lowest hallway and you put your hands. Is there any of those guidelines over the years changed as far as what you should do if you know something bad's in the area?
Yeah, so the first step, for a tornado is understanding the watch and warning.
Sure.
And if you do see a warning, seek shelter immediately. If you're outside, try to get to a basement or a low level as you can possibly get. If you don't have a basement, find an interior room. A lot of bathrooms don't have as big of windows or maybe no window. The important thing is to get as much space or as many objects between you and a window as you possibly can. Get into a bathtub or a safe area away from windows, and some of that debris can't impact you.
Yeah, if we're outdoors or we're in a car, what's kind of some of the rules there?
Yeah, if you're in a car, you don't want to necessarily leave your car and get out into the elements,
right,
and expose yourself to some of those issues. But if you don't have anything that you can shelter in, a ditch or any type of low level area that you can get to would be great.
Yeah, the one thing I hear people trying to do so much, they'll see a tornado, they don't gauge the speed or the direction, and they're like, well, I'm just going to outrun it, and then end up causing more problems, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The best thing, as soon as you hear the warning come over your radio or even your cell phone, if you are in Alert Allen County, try to pull over, get to the safest places you possibly can. A lot of, I-75 has a lot of the semis that are impacted by those high winds, so please try to get over or even off of an exit if you do hear. Outrunning it isn't what we'd like people to do. We'd like you to seek shelter and stay in a safe environment.
I know you guys too are big on families, come up with a plan so we know where to meet everybody, right?
Yeah, so we'd really like people, this time of year, we're transitioning from winter to spring. It's important to talk with your kids and talk with your family members, get a good plan for, if there is a flood or if there is a tornado, pack a bag. In your bag, make sure you have basic water, nutrients, flashlights, extra batteries, cell phone charger, or a list of cell phone numbers even. Everybody kind of relies on those cell phones.
Sure.
But if cell networks go down or your battery dies, it's important to still have those numbers. Things like that should be included in your plan.
Good advice. All right. Thank you, Travis. Appreciate it. Good seeing you. Don't go away. Medical news coming up next on Noon Edition.